Hello everyone. Today we're going to be reviewing and looking at the code project that I've recently finished, the Battleship board game with Python, not including the Pygame module. So we have a total of 4 files, just like Monopoly, with 2 classes, just like Monopoly, and a functions file. So let's start off with the player. The player file player objects are just a list of the ships the player has, the locations that have and haven't been hit by the enemy player, the amount of times they've been hit, the name of the player, and if they are on the left or right board of the screen. Not much going on here, it's just a few getters and a checker for the locations later on. Next up, we have the ship class, which defines the length of the 4 classifications of ship, the carriers, battleships, cruisers, and destroyers of length 5, 4, 3, 2, respectively each, and also allows you to create them. And this will also enforce how many locations they have that can be hit. So if you were to create a ship at a certain location using a start and end point, as we do within the code, the locations between those two are also included within these hit and no hit locations. And these are just, this area right here is just to add those locations as I just mentioned. The third file is the functions file, which includes everything from creating the very turtle board that you play the game on, to clearing it, to adding more stuff to the board such as names, displaying the winner, checking the locations of ships if you can actually put them in certain locations based on the classification of ship. The player navy, which is just tell the game when it should end if the player has either gotten hit 17 times or the number of ships in their list has hit 0. Note that if you get hit 17 times, that is all the potential locations your ships can have. So your carrier being 4 plus your battleship plus your 2 cruisers and your destroyer. That's 5 plus 4 plus 3 plus 3 plus 2, which is equal to 17 roughly. Check strike is just to see if the location had a ship or if it was empty. So it would return false if it was empty and return true if there was in fact a ship there. Struck ship is just the function that is called when a ship has been hit. And all it does mostly is display that you've hit a ship at a specific location. Struck empty does the same thing as struck ship, except you guessed it, displays miss because you hit nothing. Good job, you hit nothing. You want a prize? And that's effectively everything for the functions class file. So within Battleship PY, we have our main. We start off creating the board, getting the players. Then we go ahead and this all here is creating their ships. And then from here on, we have the gameplay loop, which then ends. And then this is just to figure out who the winner was and print it out. So since we are going to give a quick display of how this runs, because I'm using Turtle, I have the screen formatted a certain way to fit on here. As you can see, the boards are created. So let's go ahead and Okay, so we have Kronos and Apollo on each side. Now Kronos is going to enter the locations of its carrier. So let's do A1, and we're going to lay it across to A5. Okay, now Kronos wants to do its battleship. So let's do B1 to B4. That is the second row. Now the two cruisers are going to be at C1 and C3 and D1 and C3. And the destroyer is going to be at E1 and E2. I'm going to mirror this for Apollo for simplicity's sake, but in a real game, obviously, the other player would not be looking at the screen as you are inputting all this information. Good. So now Kronos is going to choose a place on Apollo, the left side, board to strike. So let's say he just knows that there's a carrier here. Okay, he put it in, and he has struck a ship, as it says here, and puts a hit marker on Apollo's board where it was hit. So now Apollo is going to strike. Let's just say he thinks Kronos is an idiot and put it in the bottom of the screen. Well, there was nothing there, and so a miss was displayed. So I'm going to run through and destroy everything on Apollo's side to prove that the game will actually end upon the completion of the round, upon the sinking of all of a player's ships. Okay? And as we saw there, Kronos destroyed the final ship on Apollo and therefore won. So Kronos won the match. It's a very simple program. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I have more stuff coming out pretty soon. Not sure if it will be Python related or not. So look forward for that. Peace.